Let's talk about some tips for taking care of your dogs after they have been swimming, be it inside of a kiddie pool or the sprinklers, they went to a river, a lake, a stream, a pond, they went in the ocean, or they went in your human pool. We want to make sure we're taking care of your dogs after swim hours, right? The first is that you need to make sure your dog is hydrated. If they have been out swimming, they're probably exhausted. They're probably very tired. They've been really exerting themselves. You need to make sure they're hydrated. Do not overhydrate them. And if they were lapping up a lot of that water while swimming, don't give them too much extra. You also need to be careful when it comes to the ocean, because if they were drinking salt water, that can dehydrate them. So you need to make sure they did not drink too much ocean water, but they're also getting some good, healthy, clean water. And if you have any questions on that, if you have any concerns at all, please see your vet. We do not want any issues happening because they drank too much water or not enough water, all of those things. So have that discussion before you take your pup swimming. Now, the next thing is to make sure you clean out their ears. Use a cotton wipe or a makeup round to get in there and clean out any excess water, especially if they have floppy ears like my water breed does. If they have pointy ears, that tends to dry a little bit better, but if they got water in their ears, that can get trapped down in there and lead to ear infections. It can lead to a lot of really bad smells. You do not want your dog to be itchy or uncomfortable or in pain because they were swimming. So make sure you have used those makeup rounds and really cleaned out their ears so that there's no excess water. And then make sure that you're using an ear drop with salicylic acid in it. This is going to be a drying agent that helps to dry out your dog's ears so that they do not have to deal with all that water down in there. Now, there are other things that you can use as well. I've done videos talking about some of the medicated things that I use, and I actually use the one with the drying agent, and then I use the one with the medicated agent in it. And my vet has given the seal of approval over that because it's working so well for my dogs. So I will link videos on those things down below and the actual products that I use because I cannot speak highly enough of them. Not all products work the same on all dogs, and I've had multiple springers over my life. The ones that I'm using right now work really, really well for my dogs right now, but I've seen them not work for some of my dogs in the past, and I've seen things that have worked for them not work for these dogs. So sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error, but this particular combination seems to be working really well for my pups right now. You also want to make sure that you are brushing out any tangles in their ears or in their fur, especially if they were out in a river or a lake or a pond or things where they can pick up debris. So get the tangles out from under their ears and on their ears if they have longer ears. Make sure you're brushing out their chest especially, but their legs and their backs as well, and removing any tangles because that is going to be the worst. When you have to groom them, if it mats up, if it dries like that, just handle it as quickly as possible so that you do not have to worry about it. You do not have to stress over it. So you can very simply and very easily take care of that in the moment. Have a little pair of scissors if you can and just clip things out if you need to. Brush things out when they are done to make sure that they are not getting involved in anything that is going to cause any issues. And on that very related note, you also need to make sure that you are checking their feet and their legs. If they're picking things up that could potentially hurt them, that's a problem. And you might miss some of it with their wet fur. So you're going to want to look for any little sticks, any debris that could poke into the pads of their paws or their toes, the tops of their feet, anything that might get caught in their ears. Again, if they're swimming and there's weeds and things, they can pick up a lot there. So just go through and make sure you get any debris out of the way so that it is easy for you to take care of them later on. Do not let that dry into them, but then go back through once they are dry and go through it again. So brushing your dog out, making sure you've washed them after some type of exposure to water, especially if it's not normal hose water. If you've put them in chlorine, if you've put them in salt water, if you've put them in any type of pond or lake that could have debris or chemicals in it, or chemicals to clean the pond, not dangerous chemicals, but things to keep it from getting algae and stuff. If they are in anything with germs, fully wash them. Give them an actual bath so that they're not sitting in that. That's the same as you sitting in germs and things, and that's just not good. So make sure you're taking care of their skin, make sure you're taking care of their fur, make sure they don't have any debris and nothing that's going to poke them, any briars or things that could cause dangerous issues to them. Handle that after you get out of that body of water and get them dried off. We do not want them sitting in wet fur for too long because that can actually lead to some skin damage. So you got to make sure you're drying that dog off as best as possible as well. And then make sure you're just using basic safety when it comes to swimming to make sure everybody is safe and healthy. If you've used a life jacket for your dog, make sure you clean off the life jacket as well so that nothing gets trapped in there. We do not want anything going back onto your dog the next time they put their life jacket on. So cleaning up after the process really does save a lot of time and effort to make sure that your dog is having a great swim experience and is not dealing with any issues after the fact. Drop your tips down in the comments below and follow along for our full playlist on dog swims and how to successfully and safely do that, and introducing your dog to water, making sure they are not out there consuming too much water while they're having fun, and making sure that you are using the best things to engage and enrich that swim time with your dog. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.